What's up, MetaNerdz? This video is all about the Bantha-class Assault Shuttle used by the New Republic. Despite being named for the lumbering beast on the sand planet of Tatooine, it was designed by engineers on the watery world of Mon Cala. Manufacturing happened on the Mon Calamari shipyards in this massive orbital ring, and over on the planet Sullust via Sorosub Corporation. It was classified as a heavy transport, having thick armor, shielding, and even a hyperdrive to insert troops and extract assets without needing the use of a capital ship. You can see that Mon Cala style in the engines and bridge design, and by looking at the main body of the Bantha, you can see how it was streamlined for a very specific role. This is essentially one massive room that would house hundreds of New Republic troops, along with several light assault craft like speeders or even smaller armored vehicles. To clear up the LZ, this assault shuttle lived up to its name with a pair of quad turbolaser cannons, so a total of 8 individual turbolaser strength bolts that were equal in power to those found in capital ships. Those would blow apart any defenses or vehicles set up around cities or forts, while even being powerful enough to override most shields with a couple of volleys. This also means that it could punch a hole in the side of Imperial Star Destroyers, allowing the NR Commandos to raid just about any target they wished. When landing, this large footpad would stabilize the ship and position these 3 forward-facing hatches near the surface. And it also had these landing thrusters that would help control descent. Commandos would often just jump right out, though this middle hatch did have a ramp that would extend, something that would be necessary when loading up raided cargo or vehicles. If you look on the sides and rear, we can see these relatively large panels that would most likely house shield projectors and work as stabilizers in atmosphere. You definitely don't want to lose control of an expensive transport carrying hundreds of your best trained commandos. As for the purpose of these large booms extending from the hull, that is a bit of a mystery. They may also house some deflector shield projectors, but though they would be awesome as a pair of massive cannons, maybe ion cannons to open them up to those turbolasers, there really isn't any evidence for this. This one panel does make it look like these are cannons of some sort, but most depictions just show them as lights. I think most likely it just housed some of the tech required to run the hyperdrive, shielding, and pair of quad turbolasers that would eat through power and Tabana gas. If we compare its height, it seems to be about 16 meters or 52 feet tall, making it more than half the height of the AT-AT and more than twice the height of the Millennium Falcon. At 24 meters or 79 feet wide, it was a baby Jawa wider than the YT-1300. And at 32 meters or 105 feet long, it was just a bit shorter than the 1300, but nearly 3 huts longer than the U-Wing. If it showed up here on Earth, it would be about as tall as a 5-story building, wider than 9 school buses, and longer than 2 V-22 Ospreys. As for this ship's history, it took the fight to the Imperial Remnant on Oridin during the Battle of Brental IV in the year 4 ABY. It was designed as a counter to the Empire's military transport, the Sentinel-class, but I'd say this Mon Cala design blows it out of the water. Later, during the evacuation of Kirtrik, Bantha-class transports played a crucial role in saving both civilians and NR forces. Here, the strength of that Bantha hide-inspired hull armor was on full display, as some of them took direct hits from the powerful AT-AT walkers. So that's it for its history, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind-the-scenes stuff. It was first introduced in the comic X-Wing Rogue Squadron 21, but expanded upon in Handbook 1 X-Wing Rogue Squadron and the New Essential Guide to Vehicles and Vessels. It also gets a mention in the Complete Star Wars Encyclopedia. Let me know what you guys think about this ship design, and if you hope to see it in new Star Wars media like a movie or something like The Mandalorian. But that's it for the Bantha-class Assault Shuttle. If you want to connect with us, help support the channel, or get your own copies of the reference material used to make these videos, be sure to check out the links in the description. Special shout out to our supporters over on Patreon, but most important of all, remember, if you're in the Imperial Remnant, beware the flying Banthas, and the Force will be with you, always.